What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We're talking about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color have made to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Chris Avicon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? And introducing Daniel to the show. So we kind of hinted towards it earlier in the week. So Shannon is out for the next couple of weeks, and Daniel is somebody we worked with when we were in Virginia together. So like me, Levon, and Shannon all worked with you. It's been like 8 years. So when you reached out to say, hey, I enjoy the show, is a chance that I can, jump on in the future. I was like, yeah. What you doing this weekend? It was like that's a little bit too quick.
Yeah, it was really fast.
I was like, yeah, come on. But yeah, what's crazy though is the timeline. So I didn't realize how long it's been, right? Like as you get older, time moves faster, I guess. So
Yeah.
when you were like, hey, do you like basically like do you remember me? Like, yeah, like we just worked together. I'm thinking that's like 3 assignments ago. Like that was a minute ago, but like to me it's like that Virginia was not that long ago. But yeah, since then about almost a decade has passed.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to talk about your background, your cybersecurity origin story, and your experience, because you have a lot of all the above, right? So I was like, yeah, you definitely come on the show. I know you. I trust you to be on the show, because everybody. Like I like to vet people.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you're already a known quantity. Like I already know you're gonna bring the heat, and then on top of it, you have all of the credentials to go with it. So I was like, yeah, definitely, get you on the show. But before we jump into that, I forgot. Please like, share, subscribe to all the things, all the platforms, the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask Us SP on your platform of choice, as well as we have a newsletter, and we're trying to get our subs up on the YouTube. So please subscribe. So without further ado, though, I want to jump into uh, your topic, right? Like who you are and what you do, and then we'll pivot to me and Chris, and then to you about what we've been doing this week. I think that'd be the best flow. So, without further ado, please introduce yourself and give us a little bit of a breakdown.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So 1984, first New York. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna go that far back. No, like you said, we're Air Force brothers in arms. It does feel like just the other day we were working together at Langley Air Force Base, but it's been almost 10 years. Kind of crazy. We're thinking in like Air Force years, but when you look back at it, a lot of time has passed. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, right? So my origin story, essentially, I never really thought about IT and cyber as a career path. A lot of people during the 2007, 2008 years in the United States are going through the same situation as me. Housing crisis, U.S. is in recession, economic crisis, big ones. The biggest one before the recent one we're in, right? So I just graduated from college, undergrad in my bachelor's in business, essentially, actually, specializing in marketing and management. No companies were hiring anybody straight out of college. Literally no one. In Puerto Rico, I couldn't find a job. I was applying for jobs in the United States. No one wanted somebody fresh out of college. I was like, man, I'm really screwed. I don't know what to do right now. I started working a bunch of part-time jobs. I was like working 3, 4, 5 part-time jobs sometimes just to like, kind of take care of myself. I was a little bit older at that time too, over those 3 years, right? I was trying to like live by myself. And then one of these part-time jobs, I met some friends and they're like, hey, we're going to join the Air Force. And military kind of sparked interest. So I started looking into it. It's like, you know what? Let me try this out. I had to go do a crash course in algebra again because I had to take the ASVAB and I had been removed from high school like forever. Got really good scores and I got really lucky because the jobs that they were offering at the time were 3DXO3s, right? So cybersecurity at that time, which then rolled into information security. But you already know what we did back in Virginia was very specialized.
Right.
We worked in network operations center. So, trial by fire at that point. You go through tech school or technical training school, and what they teach you there, everything was more IA oriented. And then I get to Virginia and everything is like highly technical. Log into these firewalls, troubleshoot the network, command line, look at live like TCP dumps and try to troubleshoot these connections and figure these things out. big shout out to Mr. Bruce. I don't know if you remember him,
I do.
and
Yeah, we're connected on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah, like all the government workers and contractors at that time that really took all the military people under their wing. And, if you were eager to learn, you would learn a lot there, right? As any software not, right? It's fast paced, everything's different every day. So man, like a lot, I learned so much in those 4 years I was there. I got lucky too when I was in Virginia. They kind of moved me to like a different unit. We were standing up in what's called weapons and tactics. So it was kind of like more really cyber focused, working with other government agencies to do kind of like missions each day, using scans and that kind of stuff to more like threat hunt and those kind of things.
Right.
So really technical stuff. It was great. It's like the baseline for me. And then I got moved over to kind of an IA job next. So it was kind of like the other side, like GRC, compliance, this 853, all that kind of stuff, doing security controls and then working alongside, IT, cyber to implement all security controls. Then after that, I got picked up by a medium-sized defense contracting company where I do the same. But kind of what I learned on the outside though is, the military thing is kind of very like segmented. If you have, they want people that do this portion of it to do this portion. When you go out into the real world, it's kind of like, we're hiring you. You're going to manage this environment, and I want you to do everything, the IT management for it, IT security, the compliance, all of it. So it was a really good learning experience, and I kind of rounded everything out. In between everything, I kind of get the certs to accommodate my work environment, but also got CEH because I really do like the cyber stuff, but it's such a revolving door. Even with IT, all these technology is evolving at such a fast pace these days that I feel like if you don't stay on top of it, and you don't use it, you really like get really rusty in its applications. That's why like and subscribe, smash that button for us. So you can stay on top of all this news. That way, we keep growing. Also, that way it shows Ryan and Chris that the viewership likes me too, so they can bring me back on again in the future. But that kind of rounds out my origin story, if you will, right? I was going to go in for business, and then life took a different road for me, and I could not be more appreciative. And I cannot talk more highly about the military. Everybody has their own kind of story, and no matter where you're placed in life, you're always going to like find things that maybe not be the best, but you always make the best expression out of everything. Right. So yeah, it gave me an avenue to my life, and I can't be even happier at how it turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that assignment did change a lot for me. Like all my assignments were good. Like even though they were all very different, right? Like Idaho, I was doing something completely different, and I was in Idaho, but amazing assignment. Met some amazing people. Then Alaska, Virginia, where is when I started to really get my technicalness, right? It took a few years to get there, because I was not the best technician out of tech school. But yeah, it was trial by fire. It was like, you're going to be on the floor, you're going to manage the Air Force Enterprise.
Yeah.
And if you take a base down, that's your butt.
Happened more than we like to admit, but
yeah,
we fixed it really quick. We fixed it.
Right, exactly. And that's why I started to get more technical, because it was like sink or swim. Like either you're going to get good at this or you're going to go home.
So was Langley like your guys' big knock for you guys?
So we had two, East and West, but we all controlled everything. But we tried to follow the Sun type situation. So we had
the East was where it's at. The East
was, we were better.
Yeah, we were better.
We were better.
Yeah. So in the Navy, we got the same kind of dynamic with Norfolk and Pearl, or in Hawaii. Yeah. Everybody wanted to go Hawaii, obviously. Norfolk was very serious. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's too close to the bosses." Everybody's kind of tilting up their butts, right? So I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. The closer you are to the bosses, the more hey, these people want to promote. These people are just serious. But anyway, inside the whole point.
Yeah, but very, very similar. But yeah, we had a good time. I met some really good people. Obviously, because again, when I started the podcast, I went directly to Shannon and Levon to get it started, and we were up to I think we're like 560 something episodes, and now I got Daniel in here as well, and then the following assignment. So I went from Air Force Enterprise to working with Chris, Joint Communication Support Element, right? So I went from building or maintaining the Air Force Enterprise to building small to large scale tactical networks for special operations. And
that's pretty cool.
Like, I had great assignments. I cannot lie to you. And that's what formed CCNA and Sec Plus Net Plus at Langley to CISSP, CEH, and my master's degree at JCSC here in Florida.
Nice.
And then I went to Turkey for a short stay. I met really great people there as well. But I got to see very different side of the Air Force because that's my first time being part of an actual communications squadron. Never been there before, so seeing it at that level, and I was able to work with the net op shop, the cable dogs. Like I just got a lot of gaps were filled in as well there, and then I retired. So it's perfect time to say, hey, I want to take this to the civilian world. And then me and Chris worked together in my first civilian company, right? So we worked together at Compliance Point as consultants, VCISOs, and I did some project management as well. So it's a small world, right?
Yeah. It's really cool about the whole veterans. It's just like it's like when we were at in Huntsville, my buddy Caleb, who I haven't seen in like over almost a decade, we talk like we just nothing stopped, right? We just did it. I think it's something that's like super unique to us veterans, right? It's like, oh, you can just pick up a conversation with anyone you ever served with, even 10 years from now, it's just gonna be great.
Right. And even cross branch, right? 'Cause so like me and Daniel are Air Force, and obviously Chris is Navy, but there's always some kind of common thread between all of them. So you can always have that conversation. And then our boss at Compliance Point, he's Marine. So
nice.
He gave us a lot of crap.
Yeah.
But he has cool stories, and we even though we have decades of separation between when he served and when we served, we still had common threads where we could talk about stuff all the time. So it's just I cannot talk like Daniel. I cannot praise the military enough. Like if you're on the fence thinking about it, I think it's definitely something you should experience.
Yeah, like we're not trying to be recruiters here, but the military, the military did change my life for the better, right?
In the background,
yeah, or Navy, right? Global Force for good.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just one of those things. Tuition being so expensive now, recovering cost of inflation, things like that. I implore anybody that's 18 or whatever that wants something their foot in the door in some type of professional environment.
Yeah,
it's been proven that veterans are better off than their peers who haven't joined that never served on average, right? We just have more tools and opportunities available to us. Yeah, it's a sacrifice. You gotta be away from your family, and that's the hardest part. But sacrificing that 4, 5, 6 years, whatever term enlistment, it yields so many dividends, from education, veterans benefits, things like that. I just can't talk highly about joining, right? I mean, but when it comes to retiring or getting out, that's a whole different stuff.
Right. That's
I think you're the only one out of the three of us around that actually retired, right? Did you retire, Chris? Or
oh, you did? I did not. I did.
Oh, you did? Yeah,
I did. You and I have a very similar story, right? Like I graduated in 2010. Did side jobs here and there. Decided to join in 2012, right? Nice. So it's I graduated college, right? But luckily the military helped afford me a master's degree, right? Got my CISSP and things like that. So it's like, I mean, I can't complain. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like crazy. The three of us got masters, but we didn't pay almost nothing for the masters because
college
all VA.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. And maybe use the rest of the event. Yeah. Maybe use the rest of the benefits. For me, I want to get another master's degree, right? I just want to keep learning, right? I want to get my MBA at some point and just learn business end of, because we've got technical backgrounds. I think, the entrepreneurship, that level of business savvy and being able to speak the vernacular. You don't have to get an MBA to do that, but hey, if there's opportunities for us to get some type of compensation for it, VA helps, fund it. Why not? Right? That's kind of my mindset.
Use it before it goes away, with how the things are going now in the U.S. right? You gotta you never know when these things will get funded, will keep getting funded or get pulled or get lessened. So you gotta use it while we still have the opportunities.
Yeah, but it's really cool that we're all on the other side now. We're on the management and consulting end of the IT spectrum. My first gig was I was a blue team analyst. Like it's funny, I didn't go to class for that work. But hey, figure out SQL, figure out Linux commands, figure out Unix, and what?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just really cool to be able to have that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So similar stories, all different backgrounds pre-military, right? And then the common thread being the military, being veterans, um, and just the opportunities it affords. So again, can't speak highly enough of it. They're not paying me for this. There's no ads. I would love to
Yeah.
do some
They
ads
should.
for
They
you.
should. Yeah.
Sponsor us if you
Yeah.
want. Well,
Right. I would love to do that. But at the end of the day, yeah, can't sing praises enough because of where we're currently at. But with that being said, so typically this episode kind of goes more into the everything else, right? The non-cyber related stuff. Sometimes we talk about courses and things of that nature that we're doing, right? Like, because I have one this week that I've been working towards, which I have to finish today, hopefully, so I can write about it. But to go back to you guys. So how was your week? So what'd you get into? We'll go with Chris first. Chris, what'd you get into this week?
So this week, actually, in the past few weeks, I don't know if I told you guys in previous episodes, but my wife and I have actually been taking the salsa dance and bachata classes. Right.
nice.
So we take those twice a week,
Oh
right?
wow.
So salsa on Tuesdays and Wednesdays we do bachata. Right. Yeah. So I've been dancing since my wife and I've been dancing since like 2018. Right. So which we've been dancing a lot. Like, so being in the Tampa area, it's awesome. Like, it's a lot of Hispanic culture, right? So there's socials everywhere, right? Funny story, Daniel. Like I got into salsa. I went to class because I actually supported Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. JCC sent us down there, right?
Nice.
And that was like I would say one of the most rewarding experiences in my career, just being able to see the impact,
Yeah. Thank you.
direct impact, right? So like that, but again, it was funny. Like it was so great because like I was in Culember. I remember there was no power, people with generators, man, but they were playing their music, they were playing their salsa and all that stuff, and you just saw all these old guys go, yeah, they're dancing, and I was like, yo, those guys are dope, right?
Yeah.
I need to learn. I need to go. That's what really brought me to dancing, which is funny.
Nice, man.
Like that's how I met my wife as well. So it's just an awesome little cool little tidbit there. But yeah, we've been doing that. So that's been taking up a bunch of more time. We practiced right before classes, learned stuff from
Okay.
last week. So it's just like, dude, we want to be the best in the class, right? Like, yeah, that really good. So yeah, like, man, they're great. Wow. Like, it's just great when they're like, "Oh, you guys know, you guys look what you're doing." I'm like, yeah, we were prepared. No, but yeah. So that's a big part of what we do, and it's a big hobby of ours. On the entertainment piece, fairly light. We rewatched a few episodes of Big Bang Theory. We weren't able to get past we still haven't watched Captain America, the first Avenger yet.
Gotcha.
It's just been we started out in past podcasts, just as a recap, we started out watching all the Marvel movies, the original Marvel movies. So Iron Man 1, the Hulk with Edward Norton,
Okay.
Iron Man 2, and then I think after that was Thor. So that's 4 of the movies, right? But we just haven't gotten around to Captain America: The First Avenger yet. So I think once we get that one, we're gonna start and keep going. But really, I think Iron Man 2 was really bad. Like looking back at it, and it's like I think it did slow down our momentum because like Iron Man 1 was great, and even like the Hulk was okay, but it was still great. But Thor was good. Like we did enjoy. Like it was different how he acted, or at least Chris Hemsworth acted in Thor, and how they wrote Thor in the future movies. He was just more comical, more actually fun. Chris Hemsworth's personality shined through in the acting. But yeah, eventually we'll get to Captain America: First and hopefully that brings us up, us getting to eventually Endgame, right?
Right.
Long journey.
It's a long journey, right? Indeed.
Man, Marvel fell off a cliff though. It's kind of crazy after Endgame. Yeah.
But what's funny? Right, the previous podcast episode, you did say something like we don't do that here. The first thing that came to mind was Black Panther. That means that we don't do that.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here. And then on the personal growth end, last week I did finish my CCP CMMC course, right?
Nice.
So that's exciting. I want to be able to test. I'm pretty excited for CMMC. But looking to test here early May, give myself a few weeks just to let the information marinate in my brain. And it really get back to that test taking mode. The last test I took was CIS back in December, right? And that was like a big like challenge for me. So getting back into the testing mindset, it's definitely difficult, right?
You need a break too, man. This will burn you out. It's a lot of
for sure. Yeah, I'm very ambitious with my certifications. You know, I'm looking at getting the CCP and then maybe getting CCSP next. Right, just getting everything. I want it. I want it all. I want
catch them all.
Freaking that.
Just catch them all.
You see some of those guys on LinkedIn with like the freaking
too many.
Like,
too many. They put like X10 for SAN certs. I'm like, yeah, that's too much.
I'm seeing somebody with hopefully I'll list it. He's got all the GAIACs and stuff on his.
Jeez.
I'm like, bro, that is insane. First of all, that's amazing, but that's a lot of information there, bro.
My brain's not that big. My brain's not that big. I'm not that smart.
Yeah, man.
I wouldn't be able to figure out after a while.
But yeah, that kind of concludes my past few weeks.
Okay, all right. What about you, Daniel? What you got going on?
Well, I'm a 3.5-year-old, so most of my time wraps up of like enjoying her. all like my colleagues and coworkers are like, "That's the best age. You gotta enjoy it." So, and she's a great kid, so I'm just like every day come home, I just want to spend time with her. But on the downtime when she's not around, a lot of like K-dramas or day dramas, Japan dramas with my wife. She's watching this new one that's actually on Netflix. It's called I Love You, but I. So that's really,
okay.
It's really kind of funny. I think it's based off of a manga, but it's live action, so it's kind of cute. Watching a lot of anime too. So Slime second season came out. Devil's Reincarnation came out. So Isekai they're not won't break the scale in like the anime universe, but they're highly enjoyable. So I would definitely recommend those. I'm a little gaming every once in a while. I play a little bit of Apex. Self-development though, I did like a deep dive last week on VMware just as a solution.
Oh, gotcha.
Trying to set up a home lab. It's like because you use VMware Workstation, which is the desktop version, and you can actually download ESSync size hypervisor, which goes on the bare metal if you have a server. So just kind of like going through that stuff again because we have to set up a different LAN at work. And I haven't set up a network in 5 years, so just refreshing it. But it was like a bunch of hours throughout the week, which kind of led me to like, man, that's like the main virtualization platform. It's still probably the biggest company VMware is. I was like, man, I need to like hit up now. I feel like I want to hit up like AWS and Azure and just like start doing labs in there, spin up containers, and just get my familiarization with the GUIs and like kind of like how to set things up in those two platforms. And maybe it's kind of some of the search there as well. Just pique my interest a little bit.
Kind of a side note on that, so I did go through an Azure course on Udemy, right? But you know what, man, it was just boring to me. Nothing against Azure, but something about Azure, just like how the GUI and everything, it just seems so Microsoft to me, right? And then it's funny, the other day or a few days, I was on Google Drive, and I'm thinking, like, man, this is so much freaking faster. Just in Google Cloud, like, just try sharing anything on OneDrive versus sharing anything on Google Drive. It just felt so much faster on Google Drive, right? It just comes up faster. So then I was saying, you know what? I would give this GCP thing a shot. Just Google Cloud Platform. You know what? I think people are sleeping on Google Cloud Platform. It's number 3 right now. It's got like 11% of the market share. But I think it's gonna definitely blow up more in the next few years. And you mentioned Kubernetes, and apparently, based on my Reddit research, right, and thinking to take everything at face value, apparently Kubernetes engine is one of the best virtualization platforms for Kubernetes. So
okay, interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah,
keep that back on my mind. Yeah, that's all I've got pretty much.
That's awesome. So I actually got a lot in when it came to media this week. Somehow I don't know how to squeeze it in. Maybe because of all of the AI I've been trying to use. So I'll talk about the AI stuff. I could knock out the AI stuff first, right? The boring stuff before we get to the media I consumed. So I've been trying to learn as much as I can about the fundamentals. I've been using AI now for a few weeks, just to help with outlines and to make content a little bit more robust. And it's really just taking our transcripts and trying to convert them into intelligible summaries and articles, right? It's like we've already done the work. So how do we repurpose it? So I've been doing a lot of that, but then I've been falling down the rabbit hole. So I checked out PMI. PMI had a bunch for project management because I'm kind of trying to branch back into that space as well. Like I don't do a lot of project management, but I oftentimes feel like when I'm part of a project, like I can manage this, or I can see how I can integrate myself more into it. Uh, so that I'm trying to learn those AI tools that help with project management. So I knocked one out, the fundamentals one. I kind of talked about it. I wrote my first article for Ask a PMP. I want to turn it into a segment at some point. I don't have the time for it right now, but I know a lot of PMPs, and I'd like to get them on the show to talk, about what they do, how they do it. And I'm starting a new one called through PMI. It's called Data Landscape of I got Cameron away, the Gen AI for project managers. So I think it's free for members. I think it's like $19 for everybody else. It's like a 45-minute course. And I just keep trying to start it. I keep getting bogged down by everything else, right? So my plan is to knock it out today. It was going to be yesterday, but I had a crazy migraine. I think that's why I know that was part of the sickness. Like I think I'm getting the cold. I think the lead in was the headache.
Yeah.
I could not shake it yesterday, no matter what I did. So it kind of put me down a little bit where I wasn't able to interact with it like I wanted to. So today I'm thinking about knock it out and then write it up for the Ask a CISP segment, because I haven't done one of those in some time. Like I said, I want to kind of get that going. But with that being said, I was able to watch some videos, and I kind of got into NVIDIA and all they're doing. And I swear on everything, NVIDIA's in league with aliens. Have you seen the Blackwell stuff they're putting together?
No, not yet.
Oh my God.
It's on my list of things to watch. Yeah.
If you I watched the full, I think it's like a 45-minute or hour-long showcase. You don't have to do that. There's some breakdowns that are much shorter, like the highlights, and it is crazy. Like it is the future. Like OpenAI is going to take over the world because they're the ones buying most of the data center stuff from NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And NVIDIA has a stranglehold on the AI chipset market. Like what they're doing is ridiculous. Like when their CEO was breaking down what Blackwell could do, I was like, that is alien tech. Like
honestly, that CEO
how did he jump that far, that fast?
Jensen Huang.
Yeah. I heard that he is rough to work for though. Like he's one of those people who sends you an email that shakes your soul. Like he will terrify you through email, but he seems so nice on stage.
Did you know that him and Jensen Huang and AMD CEO Lisa Su are first cousins?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I mean, the talent in like that bloodline.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah,
that's unfair. That is unfair.
But it's crazy because I think Jensen was talking about how I think he used to work at Denny's. He used to work at Denny's as a kid, man.
Nice.
And now he's a CEO freaking the biggest company out there.
Yeah, they're a $1 trillion company now, right? Then they hit the $1 trillion valuation.
I think so. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's only like 2 or 3 companies: Microsoft, them, and I forget who the other one is. Is it Amazon?
I thought it was Amazon. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah,
that might be Apple. Actually, it might be Apple.
It could be Apple.
Yeah, I would say Apple. Yeah,
I don't know. Like all of them have way more money than I won't say ever have, but chances of me getting there. Because you gotta live the American dream, right? We all can do it. Like no, but you gotta still say it, right? You gotta believe it. Like
it's the first step.
But no, like Blackwell is ridiculous. But I go down a rabbit hole because NVIDIA has free AI training. Some of the stuff is fundamental. Some stuff is kind of intermediate. That's probably where I'll peak out at for the time being. And some of the stuff is like, what are you even talking about? But the one that really piqued my interest, I want to jump into, is how to build a brain in 10 minutes is the name of the class. I was like, I want that because I've been watching a lot of OpenAI and a few other people who are really big players in the space talk about agents, how to build agents. It's like, don't just ask the large language model, whatever you're using, for a one-off. Like, let's just jump right into it because the accuracy is high but relatively low compared to it refining itself. So I'm trying to learn how to build agents where like this is my copywriter, this is my editor, this is my graphics person. And then you can make them interact with each other. And instead of getting it spitting something out in like 0 seconds to 30 seconds, it will have a conversation with itself and it will continue to refine and refine and refine. And so it could be minutes, it could be several minutes, and then it will spit out a product that is amazing because it's iterating on itself. It's not you having to continuously interface with it. Like, I want this, and you get in like, I want you to change that. Instead, it's multiple chatbots having a conversation with each other, and then they spit out a product which doesn't need that much refinement. I'm like, that is amazing. That would cut down so much time. Yeah. On all of my mundane tasks. Like, I don't want it to write a book or anything like that. Like, I want that to come from me, right? But I wanted to speed up my transcription process, speed up my thumbnail creation, give me better SEO. Like, all that stuff can be built within those bots. And now I'm trying to learn. I'm like at step 0. So I'm trying to work my way up. My goal is to have a working model, so to speak, by May, June.
That's pretty cool.
So that's my pet project.
Well, what's interesting is that, NVIDIA is really leveraging the big cloud platforms. While you were talking, I didn't go into their DGX cloud platform, just looking up at, just seeing the offers they got. But they've got integrations with all the big 3 clouds. They've got integrations with everybody. So it's like, man, this is so exciting. Like, I wish there was like an NVIDIA solutions architecture. Like, that cert would be probably the most prized cert in industry, just because like, hey, you can make $300K working at freaking NVIDIA. I'd be like, yeah. And give it a sweet stock options, dude.
Yeah. They needed an ISO not too long ago. Like, it popped up on my
really?
jobs. I was like, that's crazy.
That's unique. Oh, you gotta think about it. This is the next big push, right? We haven't had a next internet. We haven't had a next giant leap in society on how it interacts and communicates since the internet was like easily adopted. Before that was the computer easily adopted into households. This is going to be the next one. It's kind of already, it's here, it's starting, but the next 10 years is going to be a whole new landscape and how
how we secure that. Yeah, but how we secure that as well. Yeah, it's going to be super interesting.
Yeah, I'm all that. Very excited by it. So, because I was very apprehensive at first. I was like, man, it's a bunch of buzzwords. And then it was, it's kind of security risk. And now it's kind of like, I understand more of the parameters. So I'm like, well, these are the things you don't do with it versus the things that it can just take away so much of the inefficiencies in my production schedule, right? Like, it can do so much for me. I don't know what I don't know yet because there's so many different APIs, integrations, and what have you. Like, I think by May, June, I can have it spit out, not full content, but it will knock out all of the baseline stuff for me. So all I have to do is be a boss, right? And just say, nope, change this, or nope, I want to add to that, as opposed to I'm everybody on the team right now, aside from obviously my talent, right? So I have the talent, but I am the production.
Yes.
If I could build these agents out to be all of the team members for the production, all I have to do is be the executive producer. This chef's kiss.
Okay.
But it's going to take a lot of work, right? It's not like it's not like you just hit a button and you make it happen. So I'm excited to learn how it functions and then to build my own model. Because ultimately my goal is to get all that mundane stuff off my plate so I can elevate our offerings. Like, this is the podcast and it can do more things. It's more robust. I can offer, affiliation. I can do partnerships and things of that nature because I have more time to focus on that stuff.
Yeah.
Is the goal. So that is my near-term project. So that's what I'm currently working on. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But outside of that, I was able to consume all of Fallout. So I watched the Fallout show on Prime. It is one of the greatest video game adaptations of all time.
Really?
I don't know. I know enough about Fallout to get some of the inside jokes and things of that nature. I've never finished the Fallout. The games are too big. It was that good. It was so good. You don't even have to know what Fallout is. It's just a really good show. They outdid themselves. It's up there with The Last of Us. Some people saying it's better. I'm still think if The Last of Us is a 10. Then the Fallout series was a 9.5. Like it's right there. They're neck and neck with each other. It's really good, and they dropped all the episodes at once. I've noticed that Prime does that for the first season. They'll give you all the content up front, but then the next season, like it's gonna be a weekly thing. Yeah.
You're the second person that mentioned it was good, and I watched the first episode, and I was like, man, I gotta go to sleep. I hate this. I want to binge the whole thing. It's good.
I haven't heard anything really until the other day. I heard about the actress actually started playing Fallout and enjoyed the game. Really? To me, so to me that's a sign of quality, because I mean the actors and director, they respect the source material. They're not going to Star Wars it and just add whatever bull crap they want, right? They respect the source material. They're going to keep it true to the video game and keep it that experience. So you know what? I think I'm going to check it out.
It's good. Like that first episode was a banger. I was real sus because the cast, there's a couple there that are notable. Like the guy that plays the ghoul, he's been in a bunch of things. I like that actor. I'm forgetting his name.
Walter Goggins.
And then
it's Walter Goggins.
The heavier set guy that has the glasses. It's always used in comic relief. He was in a
Spider-Man do a backflip.
Yeah. He's at another good show on Apple, which I'm forgetting the name of right now.
Okay.
Was it Severance?
Is he in Severance?
Yeah. Their commission or their personality is one thing outside work, and when they're at work, they don't remember.
I love that show.
That show is amazing. So he's in that as well. So I know him from that. So I was like,
I didn't get that far then because I haven't seen him yet.
It's a little slow. It's kind of a slow burn.
Okay.
But the last episode kind of is a payoff, and it wants you wanting more. So it's definitely worth a watch.
It's an anti-Shannon show. Shannon will hate it.
Shannon
likes action.
Give me the action.
Give me that action right away.
He would hate it. He would hate it. But Fallout, man, it's really good. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, the first day I watched 5 episodes. That's how good it is. I was like, where did the time go? Amazing. And then I am midway through the Three Body Problem, Three Body Problem, I think is what it's called, on Netflix. Very slow burn. The first episode, I was just like, I can kind of, because I used to be really big into those sci-fi long dramas, thrillers.
Like Expanse. I love The Expanse.
Yep.
This one was really dragging the first episode, and since then it's really picked up. Because I was like, are they going to stretch it out where we're not going to see whatever this thing is until the end? No. By the time you get to the third episode, you're like, oh.
My buddy said, he said it took him three episodes to really get into it.
Yeah.
And it's got such a huge fan base. It's like a novel series, right?
Right.
If I'm correct.
Right.
And I'm like, I kind of want to watch it as well. That's on my list to watch as well.
Yeah, so I'm about midway through that one, if not a little bit further than midway. Obviously, I'm caught up on Invincible had its season finale. That was excellent. And then X-Men 97. I did not give it a real fair shake. I watched the first episode and I was like, man, I go out with this. By the time you get to episode 5, you're like, yo.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's they dialed up to 11 in episodes 4 and 5, and I think that's where they're at. They took a mid-season break. So the first 2 episodes, you're kind of like, man, it's kind of like a kid show, like when I grew up on. Then episode 3, you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's kind of different. And then 4 and 5, you're like, whoa.
Okay, I saw the first 2, so I got to keep watching it then.
Yes, I did not give it a fair shake. But by the time I got to 4, I was like, I got to watch 5. I got to see where this goes. It's pretty crazy. And I think that's it. That was a lot for me, though. And then obviously I've been playing Helldivers sparingly. I put in a couple hours. I helped liberate the planets from the automations, right? I was cheering. I was like, yeah, we did it. We took back the creek. And now they're back, and they're fuller strength. The game just keeps adding surprises and changes. I'm really digging it. I'm really enjoying it. And then Final Fantasy VII, I've played very sparingly because every time I play it, you have to dedicate at least 2-3 hours to get through a side quest or to finish a mission, right? It's a very big RPG. I just don't have that type of time all the time. So I plan on hopefully doing that today, but we'll see. But all in all, I mean, I got a lot in this week, surprisingly. And then, like I said, Saturday, they put me down. My head was booming, so I just had to take a break. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. No studying. I need to study for the CCSP. But right now I'm in AI mode. So, and then you get these micro sites, right? Like, so I get little badges and trinkets and whatnot to show people I'm into it. But eventually I would like to get my CCSP is the goal.
I think I talked about it maybe last episode. I was gonna get Chisholm, but then I'm like, dude, I gotta spend this much money on the QSA and this one. Dude, ISAC sorts are expensive.
Very
right? Versus
are.
I can get the freaking book and question or official practice test on Amazon. By Cybex for like $50, $60 for CCSP. So I was like, let's just go with what I know CCSP, right? And then, and it's like, and I figured CCSP kind of it's something different, from CS, and there's too many similarities in my opinion to CISM and CISSP. So like, let's just venture into the IAE level 3 CCSP thing. Call it. We were familiar with the material. Right. Or at least the testing style, right? I'm afraid I'll take CSM and fail. Yeah,
and from my understanding, it's not adaptive, so it doesn't get aggressive.
Right.
And
yeah. It doesn't.
If you understand all the domains from the CISSP, it's a little bit easier to ingest. It would be harder to go from CSP to CISP. It's easier to go from CISP to CCSP, from my understanding. So I haven't taken it yet, but
yeah, me either.
We'll all be asked to CCSP here next year,
right? Right. Before
we gotta make it more exclusive. There's too many CISPs out there, brother. You gotta go. Yeah. Hey, ask the CCSP. We only talk cloud here. No, I'm prime, baby. Nothing on prime.
A niche of a niche, right?
Yeah, niche of a niche.
But yeah, I think there's still only like 100 and there's less than 150,000 of us still. So really? It's still pretty low. CSSP? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But CSP, I bet you that number is a lot lower.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah,
definitely. Or if you go up a tier, right? If we get our EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like you got like Jacob Hill. That's all I know.
So I know two now. So Jacob Hill, nice. And I had on Yvonne Rivera. She's one too.
Wow. Oh, nice. Yeah. That's right.
So she's from Cybermite. Yep. So she has hers too. And I was just like, I'm not there.
Yeah, people are not there yet. So smart.
Yeah. One day. We'll
get there.
Yeah. No, this is a great episode. So thank you again, Danny, for jumping on so short notice. Right.
Pleasure.
It's good to have a reliable third chair, right? Because obviously Chris is out there globe trotting. Shannon needs downside from time to time as well. He's been on like at least if we did 560, he's been on like 550 episodes, right? So everybody needs that time, and then have that person who can revolve in things of that nature. So we definitely have you back on the show. This was great. And then I probably need to get you on Ask a CSP, you and Chris, right? I need to pick your guys' brain and have you on that show. I got some availability coming up. I think I have Chelsea Pierre, and then I think it's blank until May. So I'll try to sync my calendar with your guys' calendar, see if we can get you on one of those Monday evenings, my time. Like for you, that would be like
perfect.
It's perfect time. Yeah. To kind of break down your guys' origin stories a little bit deeper, right, and share more with the audience. So definitely want to do that as well. And then this is evolving the content. So I will do my treatments and what have you, start sharing that with you guys. I kind of just always go into autopilot, so I should start sharing with you guys what it's going to look like in case you have any inputs. And then go from there, right? As we continuously evolve the product. Newsletter again has over 1,000 subs now. We did that in a month, so I'm super excited to see where that goes in the future. And then the YouTube channel, we have almost 400 subs. I need to get to 5. I'm hoping by May-June timeframe, because I want 1,000 by the end of the year. Because that's when you can actually start to really do things with your channel. Is when you get 1,000 subs and like 4,000 watch hours. But you get that through subs, right? Like people coming back. Like we have a lot of people who show up, they watch the content, and then they don't return per se, at least not in the short run where I can actually capture that information. So like our views are crazy right now. Like we have over 7,000 views over a 28-day period. Like that is spiked. It has not gone down, which is great. So I want those people I want to capture those people though. So like if you're watching this or listening, please subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button.
We're not going anywhere. We've been doing this for 4 years. This podcast will probably go on for a very long time. So yeah, subscribe. So, and then newsletter, right? So now you can have it come into your inbox. So it's right there for you, where you don't have to go anywhere. It's all contained in one thing. Just click the little play icon. You can either listen or watch. Boom, all in one newsletter. So definitely check that out. And then hit up all the websites and social medias that go by our name. It's either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP on your platform of choice. And then yeah, like, share, subscribe, share with your nerdy friends. Stay safe, stay secure.
See you guys.